You can set up a Google Meet live session through Google Classroom, Google Calendar, or Gmail. Or you can simply head over to meet.google.com. To take a look at the Google Meet interface, I'm going to begin at meet.google.com. Here, I can click the green button to set up a sample meeting. When I visit my meeting for the first time, I'm asked if I'd like to join now or present my screen. I'm also given the option to join using a phone for audio instead of my computer. Notice it will also tell me if anybody else is already at the meeting. When I'm ready, I can click on the green Join Now button. When I first join the session, I'm given the share information. This allows me to copy the joining information so that I could email it or otherwise share it with other people. I can also click on Add People to add others with their email. Here I am in Google Meet. Notice my video is currently turned off, and I'm going to leave it off for this session to avoid distractions. If I wanted to turn my video back on, I would simply click on the red button at the bottom of the screen. This will turn your camera on and off throughout the session. It's good to note that if you're having issues with your meeting being a little bit glitchy and the video freezing up or going in and out, it's good practice to turn off your camera. That'll make the video performance much faster. To the left of this is a microphone button, and this allows you to mute your microphone. It's often a good idea, if you're working with a class of students, to ask them to mute their microphones so that you don't have too much background noise while you're presenting to students. The button in the center that looks like a phone allows you to leave the meeting when you're done. In the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see the name of this particular Google Meet session, and by clicking on that, you can quickly get the joining information if you need to share it. In the bottom right-hand corner, you have the option to turn on closed captions. This feature will automatically caption everything that's being said in the meeting and will be visible by everyone. This is good as an accessibility feature for those who may be hard of hearing. To the right, I have a button that says Present Now. This will allow me to share my screen or an individual Google Chrome tab with the participants in my meeting. I'm going to click it now to show you what happens. I'm given an option to share my entire screen, an individual window, or one tab within my Chrome browser. Let's share my entire screen. This pop-up comes up and asks me for permission. I'm going to select the screen that I want to share and click on Share. You'll notice a little window pops up that tells me that I'm currently sharing my screen and allows me to stop sharing at any time. At this point, whatever I do on my computer, all of the participants of the Google Meet will be able to see. I'm going to click on the green Stop Presenting button to end this presentation. Now I'm back in my video chat. Let's continue our look at the interface over here in the bottom right-hand corner. The three-dot icon gives you more options. This includes the ability to record this meeting. If you do record it, be sure that you ask permission of all the participants before beginning. If you record a session, you will receive an email notification after the completion of the session that includes a link to the video, which will be automatically saved in your Google Drive. Another option is to change your layout. Clicking on this gives you different choices for what you see on the screen. This includes the Sidebar feature, which will prominently show the person who's actively speaking along with some thumbnails of the other participants along the right-hand side. The Spotlight view simply shows the person who's actively speaking, filling up the entire screen. And then the newly added Tiled view shows you a view of up to 16 of the participants who are currently involved. Other options include, as we saw earlier, the ability to turn on and off closed captions, additional settings, which allow you to check your input and output tools, what microphone and speakers you're using, as well as testing them. Additionally, you can control what camera you're using and what definition you're using for that camera. Typically, standard definition is better than high definition, as high definition requires a lot more bandwidth and will result in a less stable experience. Finally, you have the option to use a phone for audio if you can't access a computer. There's also an excellent help section available at the bottom. In the top right-hand corner, we have some additional tools. Clicking on the user icon shows you all the participants in the session. Here, you can click on each person and you have the option to remove, mute, or pin them to the screen. Let me show you what it looks like by having somebody else join this chat. Now you'll see I have a student in this chat. Right now I can tell that she is currently muted because I see this small icon next to her name. Clicking on her gives me more options, including the ability to pin her video to my screen. What that means is that even if other people are speaking, her face will stay centered on my visual view. Here's the mute button, but she's already muted, so it's disabled. Finally, I have the ability to remove her from this session if I'd like to by clicking this icon right here. Next to the user icon is the chat icon. In the chat icon, I can have a live text chat with participants during the session. At the bottom of the screen, you type in your message and click the paper airplane icon to send it. Your message will be viewable to the entire group. Finally, I see myself in the top right-hand corner. Here, I can pin my own face to the screen if I want to be able to monitor what I look like during the session. Or I could turn that off. When I'm done with the session, I simply tap on the icon in the center to leave the call. At this point, I can rejoin it or head back to the Google Meet home screen to start a new session.